The choices I made in life ended up getting me involved in gangs and in selling drugs. My biological father was in and out of prison his whole life. There came a point in my life, I was about 12, 11 years old, and I wanted to get to know my dad. I believe that that happens to all girls around that time of their life. He ended up dying in 2005 of a heroin overdose. I was actually living with him at that time. It was not until about 2014 when I had my daughter at the time, and my son was just a year old. I started to get high on my own supply, and I started using methamphetamines. I was in a really dark place in my life, and I was very depressed. I didn't want to live anymore, but I knew that my children needed me. I was very prideful, and being involved in gangs actually does that to you. You end up becoming very prideful, and supposedly you're fearless, but really deep down inside, everyone is afraid of something. And for me, I was afraid of losing my children. I ended up using methamphetamines for about 2 years. It was about, I want to say the summer of 2016, where I started hearing about this program, Teen Challenge. I was being tormented by voices and to kill myself. And when I got to the men's center in Riverside, I wrote down on my application because it asked, do you hear voices? And I said, yes. So the gentleman that was interviewing me asked me, so you hear voices? And I told him, yes, I do. You know, and he asked me, what do they say? And I didn't want to respond. That was my pride again. I just stayed quiet, and he asked me, do you hear the voices right now? And I remember looking at him, and I was like, no, I don't hear anything. And I knew right there and then that that was the power of God. I always had my kids in the forefront of my mind, just the verses of the Lord telling me that I'm an overcomer, telling me that I'm his child, letting me know that he loves me and he brought me out of that evilness that I was in, and that he broke the chains. It's cool because my cousins and my family members see this different person, and they ask me, like, what happened? Like, I know you went through this program, I know you got help and you went through rehab, but what really happened? And I told them, I gave my life to Christ. I am set free, I am born again, and I am so happy. I have joy in my life, and everything that I went through had a purpose. And even the hard times, the times where I wanted to give up, everything had a purpose. And I'm that mom that my kids need now. It's so cool that I get to come home, and if I'm crying or having a hard day, my son says, Mom, just pray. The Lord hears you. I get to pick up my kids from school, and we get to sit down and do homework together, and at night we get to go to bed and cuddle and talk about our day. It's something that I can say I only used to dream about.